and we're very happy to be interviewed by Insight Publishing for my newest book, Blueprints on Success. We'll be live in a few moments, so just simply stand by, and you'll be able to watch the interview as we talk about the law of abundance and the law of attraction. Thanks for watching.
Today we're speaking to Mr. Robert Paisola, who is an international motivational speaker on success, motivation, and real estate. Andy is the author of 3 books, including Conversations on Success that was just released by Insight Publishing Company. Robert is one of the leading experts on the book The Secret and teaches about the laws of attraction and the laws of abundance around the world. He is also the CEO of Western Capital, which you can find online at www.mycollector.com, and the Western Capital Foundation based in Los Angeles, California. We are glad to have Robert as a guest. Robert, welcome to Blueprints for Success.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that.
Robert, in your biography, you attribute your success to the laws of attraction. What exactly is the law of attraction?
David, the law of attraction is the ability for somebody to create their own reality. The ability for somebody to go out and get what they want. How many people do we know in society who simply say, I wish. I wish I was there. I wish I could create it. The law of attraction is simply by being in the right place with the right people. And guess what? You attract that which you seek. So if you put yourself around the right people and you put yourself in the situation where you are actually becoming what those people represent and emulate, guess what? You can't help but to become what you want to become. That's the law of attraction. The ability to truly have and truly become what it is that you want.
You also state that you teach on the laws of abundance. So what is that?
Well, the law of abundance is completely different. The law of abundance is something that our society right now is in dire need of. We have a very serious financial situation in our country where people are having financial trauma. Foreclosures are happening at a record rate. Foreclosures are happening daily all over the world. There are tent cities in America that are being developed simply to take care of those that have lost their homes. The law of abundance gives you the ability to say, you know what, I don't deserve to have to live the way my parents lived. I don't have to live the way that everybody else expects me to live. I don't have to do the things that everybody else does. I can create my own abundance. Now, whether it's financial abundance, or whether it's abundance in your family, or it's in your relationships, or if it's abundance in anything you choose, you can too create that. And simply by saying, I choose to create abundance, guess what? Your life can change. And you have that ability inside you to create exactly what it is that you want.
I recently read in a magazine article where you said that what's in your head determines what's in your wallet. Could you explain that to our readers?
Oh, you know what? It is so true. Because so many people have a fixed belief that they have to have a job. And then once they have a job, they have an income. Once they have the income, they have the lifestyle. But basically what I call it is reprogramming your mental hard drive. Now, to go further with that, what that means is being able to be very, very clear on what your destination is in life. Does it have to be getting a job, having an income, and then having a final result the same way your parents were? I don't think so. In the book, The Instant Millionaire by Mark Fisher, the millionaire asked the boy who sought his advice, well, why aren't you rich already? Well, that's a good question to ask yourself. You know, David, we live in an era of unprecedented wealth and opportunity. Many, many people have become wealthy in the last 20 years than any other time in human history. But the question I ask my readers is this: why haven't you? Well, your answer to this question is often going to reveal a lot about yourself. Your answers are going to expose some self-limiting beliefs that you have about yourself. That's what I talk about when I talk about reprogramming my hard drive. Because if I believe that I can achieve, I will succeed. One of the greatest limitations to achieving my financial abundance that I choose to achieve is that somehow money is wrong, dirty, sick, and evil. That it's not right to have money. Well, if you believe that, David, what are the results going to be?
Exactly what you thought.
Exactly. You're going to create that which you believe. And that's why you have to reprogram your hard drive internally. And that's why I say it's what's in your head that determines what's in your wallet. Because if you believe that you can achieve and you can go out and get that contract, or if you're a realtor and you can get that listing, or as simple as if you can create that relationship with a loved one that you've so long severed, guess what? It'll happen. And that's the absolute truth. And that's what we talk about, reprogramming ourselves to become clear on what we deserve.
You also stated that in order to have more, you have to become more. What does that mean?
Well, it all comes down to self-worth. Because another way of your personal capital, your money that's going to be obtained, is going to be through what you believe in yourself. These are not just clever quips, but they're wise truths. And realities for some. We've read all the stories about someone who earns $30,000 a year and wins $5 million in the lottery. And I'm sure you've heard of stories like that. $10 million or $20 million in the lottery, as a matter of fact. But what happens to those people? All of a sudden, they lose the passion, they lose the ability because they feel they don't deserve the money. And they feel that they deserve to have a $30,000 paycheck and that they deserve to live paycheck to paycheck. Well, why does this happen? The money was far greater than the level of self-perceived value. That's the reason why. Because people have a self-limiting limitation. And once you get rid of that self-limiting limitation, then you're able to create and understand the money that flows into your world. The disproportionate money to self-esteem ratio is very uncomfortable. So in other words, a person that wins the lottery is uncomfortable having that kind of money. Thus, they don't know how to handle it. And if they don't know how to handle it, they don't know what to do with it. Because it is simply a rebalancing issue that they have to re-trigger that mind process in their mind that they do deserve this, that they do have the ability to create whatever it is that they want. So, thus, returning to comfort level of their first self-worth, my friend Jim Rohn, who I wrote a book with, says, if you win $1 million, the first thing you should do is become a millionaire. That's what Jim said. The first thing you should do is become a millionaire. Well, just because your bank account says you have $1 million doesn't mean you're a millionaire. You've got to step up. And you've got to absolutely believe that you have the right and the ability to make that happen.
Do you have any tips for our readers to improve their wealth attitude?
I have many, many, many tips. But there's 5 that I've created that are absolutely essential. And to those of you that are reading this, I want you to write this down. Number 1, write down all of the things that you're grateful in your life right now. Visualize it and read it every day. Number 2, make a decision that you will be wealthy. Not just a decision like what's for dinner, but a decision that's ingrained in your mind of what you truly, truly want to become, that you will be wealthy. And every single day, I want you to look at that decision and take action in that direction every day. So what are you doing to create that on a day-by-day basis? Third thing is, I want you to surround yourself with the people who were and are financially wealthy. That's the law of attraction. You see, Dave, if I send you out and all you do is hang out with people who don't have financial success in their life, and they're unable to create financial ability and financial abundance, the chances are very likely that you're not going to be able to achieve that either. But if you put yourself in situations where you're around people like that, and you stretch yourself, the chances are very high that you're going to do that. That's why I always say surround yourself with those who have already done it. Find a mentor. The fourth thing is this. Read and listen to all the material that will support your new outlook and attitude. Now, I don't care if you go to seminars. I don't care if you see Robert Paisola on stage in front of 13,000 people. It doesn't matter to me. But put yourself in situations, even if it means going to Barnes & Noble, where you can find things that will stimulate your mind and create that reality that you seek. The final thing, I think, is one of the most important things that I absolutely believe in. And that is that once you have this down, you have a responsibility to teach others. It's not enough for you to be able to say, okay, I get it. But I have a responsibility to Dave, my friend Dave, to say, Dave, you know what? I get it. And I'm going to assist you in overcoming your fear of being wealthy. And I'm going to assist you as you become that person that you want to be. Those are my 5 points. And once you teach it, you will become it.
Rob, many people have said that they do not have the ability to leave behind a legacy to children. How can you use success as a platform to make a difference?
A legacy. That's a question that so many people believe that they want to leave behind, but yet they don't have the ability or even know what a legacy is. But like any truly successful person, you have to take immediate action. And you have to decide that I choose to leave a legacy for those that are less fortunate than myself. Well, you have got to have an absolute goal of knowing what it is that you want to do. And I have some rules for creating your own legacy. My first rule is, number 1, follow your heart. It's absolutely essential that your heart and your conscience will tell you how to make a difference. Research and all the technology in the world can't change that heartfelt goal that you have to create a difference in people's lives. So you have to have something that is something that you believe in. The charitable foundations that you belong to. I'm a strong supporter of the Western Capital Foundation, the Robert Paisola Foundation, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And it's opened up incredible doors for me. The next thing is do your research. When you decide on something, I want you to engage yourself in the cause. Research all the issues and prepare with all the facts. Research all the issues. That means go out and get and devour all the information that's out there on the subject that you choose to leave behind for your legacy. The next thing is the most important thing. Taking action. You have to take action because you can believe and want to have certain things in your life, your whole life. But if you don't take action, will anything occur? Absolutely not. One thing I've learned from my mentors is that successful people don't just sit around. They think about ways that they can constantly be creating their legacy. They do it, and they find ways to take action. And they take action on a daily basis. Next is to enlist your colleagues and friends. How many of us have friends that are very smart? Sometimes even smarter than we are. But we don't use what they have to offer. Enlist them. Many people are not aware of all the great causes that are there to be supported. But someone who brings attention, who has the power to bring the issues that you're passionate about to their mindset, you can create them to be enmeshed into what your reality is to be, which is to create that legacy. Use your friends. And finally, of course, be creative. Don't just simply say, I want to save the world. Be specific. Be very direct. Be to the point.
So what advice do you have for up-and-coming achievers who are young, who are still looking to make a difference in the world?
My advice for people that are up-and-coming is simple. You are not your parents. And the goals that you have are goals that you will self-learn and self-teach over the years as you become able and willing to take risks. The time is now that we must stop the generational gap, the generational conditioning of poverty. You have the ability as a young person to stop and step left and move forward in a dream that you have that your parents never ever had. Dave, we live in a world right now that's full of technology, that has all kind of information coming at you day in and day out. We live in a world where gratification is numbered by a McDonald's meal, 1, 2, 3. You, as a young person, are the future of our country. And just like you're watching this video right now, and just like you're listening to this tape, or if you're reading the book, it's so important to define what your role is going to be in society. Because that is when you know that you have the it. And the it is something that all people can have. But it simply requires doing what I said before, and that's taking action.
So how important is it to do what you really enjoy doing in order to help others?
Absolutely essential. There is no question that you must enjoy everything that you're doing in order to create abundance and be able to put yourself in situations where you can attract other people into your world. You must enjoy it 24 hours a day. I talk to people around the world on a regular basis, and I teach seminars. And I talk to thousands of people. And many people come up to me and say, Rob, but my job, I've been there for 20 years, what do I do? Well, I have a suggestion. Stop and do what you love, because that's how you're going to be successful. That's how you're going to get what you want. And you know, the love is what keeps you up at 3 o'clock in the morning, taking care of people, taking care of your clients, taking care of your friends, showing your friends exactly what it is you deserve, showing them what you've learned, all the books you've read, all the videos you've seen, all the seminars you've attended. Don't just keep that information to yourself. Go out and use it to better humanity. Recently, I was on assignment for a news network, and I visited a place in California, and it was in Ontario, California, and it was one of the most absolutely sad things I've ever experienced in my life, because it was a tent city for people who did not have the ability to keep their houses that were foreclosed upon. And I shed tears because of that. And I became very passionate about helping people who truly, absolutely deserved to keep their homes. And so now we at Western Capital, mycollector.com, work with people around the world, including the United States, Australia, Japan, you name it, to work with their mortgagees to let them stay in their house. Because in America, you don't have to live in a cardboard box. You don't have to live in a tent. All you have to do is communicate. And that sparked my passion. Absolutely extremely clear on what my mission is. And that's to make sure that people have the ability to continue the destiny for their children. And that includes having a house. So just because we're running behind and we're in a market right now that's very difficult, I have a responsibility to assist people with that. And that's my passion, and that should be their passion and your passion too.
So do you have any tips for the younger generation who is looking to make a difference and to truly create abundance in their life as well as the lives of those around them?
Tips. Boy, the tips are simple. Step up. Make a decision that you are going to make a difference. Make a decision that you have what it takes to affect other people. You see, you, again, as I said, are not your parents' life. You're an individual. So no matter what happens in your life, you have that ability to truly go out and assist other people. My tips are this. Find something that you're passionate about and get the passion in your voice. Who would have thought a kid from Ohio would be authoring a book with Stephen Covey, Jack Canfield, Jim Rohn, and the list goes on. That's my experience. Did I grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth? Absolutely not. But I went after my dreams, no matter what my setbacks were. And I had some setbacks. But it did not matter because I was on a track and I knew that if I would just stay the course, I could reach that ultimate reality that I chose. And that's what I challenge all of my readers around the world to listen to. Find something that you absolutely adore, that you're passionate about. Whether it's foreclosures, whether it's helping people who are in Habitat for Humanity, whether it's a charity, whether it's taking care of animals, no matter what it is, go after it. And I promise you this, you will achieve whatever it is that you go after.
Finally, Robert, I saw you on CNN recently and heard you say that no one should be taught to be afraid of life. What does that mean to you?
It all gets back to our mindset. Being afraid of life is simply carrying the generational garbage from one generation to the other. And as I said on CNN, I was very clear. You must learn to be able to differentiate yourself from you and your friends. You have to be able to create you. Many of you who are reading this don't even know who you are. So if you don't know who you are, how do you help other people? How do you move forward? Well, learn. And this is very important. The purpose of life is to learn. And through our ability to change our mindset, to change the nuts and bolts in our brain to believe that we have what it takes to be successful, we can create that change that it does take to become successful. Now, I do want to clarify, success doesn't mean just financial success. Success can mean being able to be where you want to be, when you want to be there, how you want to be there. It can be anything. But you've got to be able to have the goal, and you have to go for it vigorously and know that nothing can let you stop. So my tips are simply, go for it.
Well, what a great conversation. I really do appreciate the time you spent with me here today. Robert, answering all these questions, I have really learned a lot. And I plan to do a lot of thinking about some of the things that you said. I do appreciate it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Dave, because I know you talk to some of the top speakers and the top motivators in the country, and we all are the same. We all want people to better their lives and to completely be clear on their mission in life. And no matter how you get there, our paths are all different. There's not one person that has the same path. But working together, working with people who have already succeeded, you too can create your own reality.
Today we have been talking with Mr. Robert Paisola, an international motivational speaker on success and motivation. We've discussed the laws of attraction as well as the laws of abundance, and we have been given several tips, methods, and techniques to change our wealth attitude and to teach others once we have gotten it. But the most important thing that I've learned from Robert today is the purpose to life is to learn, and for that I am entirely grateful. Thank you so much, Robert, for being with us today on Blueprints for Success.
David, it's my true honor. Thank you so much.
Hard to explain to